All right, well, the Federal Reserve apparently stuck the soft landing, we'll give them a 10, right, in the
Yes.
Olympics, and managing to reduce inflation without moving the country into a recession. That was the goal. Mike Giordano, financial advisor with Williams Wealth Management, joins us now with how we need to take that information and look at 2024. And Mike, is there a relationship between the Fed's decision-making along the way to, keep raising interest rates but keep us out of recession and the way the markets have just been going up and looking so good?
In part. I mean, it's hard to say, parse out what the Fed actually was responsible for and what just naturally happened within the economy.
Yeah.
But, the markets were doing pretty well last year, but they were only up modestly, mid-single digits. And then all of a sudden we got more inflation numbers that really showed that inflation was coming down. We never really got to see unemployment tick up meaningfully. And all of a sudden, the last 2 months of the year, the markets just started screaming.
Yeah, and we love when the markets are screaming. So
Absolutely.
Can we declare victory? Do we hold up the signs and give them a 10 for the soft landing, or is there still reasonable threat of recession?
Well, you're a college football fan. I mean, is the game over if we still have 10 minutes to go in the
No,
fourth
it
quarter?
certainly is not.
Right.
Yeah.
The hard part with the economy is that the economy is ever evolving, and there is no real end to the game. But in this case, to this point, the prospects of a soft landing are much, much, much better than they were months and months ago. But until the Fed's able to really get interest rates down to a place where we have like a pre-COVID economy, it's really hard to say that the soft landing has definitely been achieved. It's almost one of those things that you can say it definitely was achieved months and months and months after everything gets back to normal.
Okay, look back at 2023. What did you take away? Look at your assessment, and then how do you use that to kind of look ahead to what we need to be doing in 2024 with our investments, including Bitcoin? The SEC is looking at Bitcoin.
Bitcoin ETF, right. And so the idea there, just briefly, is that basically, if you have an ETF version, then more and more people will be able to invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But the real takeaways here is that, the big thing people have is recency bias, right? You can do everything right, but if you burned last night's dinner, your spouse doesn't want you cooking anymore, right? And I'm not speaking from personal experience.
I was going to say, I love your analogies, and I always want to ask you, is this personal experience?
No, not personal
there.
experience. No, I haven't cooked in a few weeks. But yeah, so recency bias is a big thing. And so what happens is people might look and say, wow, look at the stocks that were screaming last year. It was all these tech stocks. I'm just going to plow all my money into those things because those are the things that were working before. That's not the great lesson to learn from it. The real good lesson to learn from 2023 is that nobody knows what's going to happen in this economy because you have millions and millions of different participants, and unless you can get in all their heads and put all that stuff together, it's really impossible to know. So even though the expectations were for a recession last year, that never really played out. So the key thing you want to think about is, how do I play the percentages? What puts me in the best position to be successful? And the best percentages of all is that most years the market goes up versus go down.
Yeah, so that long term is still holding true.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mike Giordano, thank you so much.
Was that good?
Williams
Don't
Wealth
go burn dinner tonight.
That was really good. But yeah, just if you start making dinner, you'll get kudos for that, even if you burn it. We'll be right back.